Okay guys, so right there, that is the newly launched Proton Iris Active. And with me here is our teammate Christopher Chow. He is a former owner of the, what year was it?
2015 model.
2015 Proton Iris. His one is rare, okay, because his was the 1.6 manual. Okay, what led you to buy the Iris in the first place back then?
Now because that actually the Iris was actually my first car, and I mean, you know, as a college student, right?
Uh-huh.
The first car choices would be like within 5 years old.
Yeah.
It would be like Asia, Myvi,
Yeah.
Iris.
Yeah.
If you actually have the budget, you go on to like Honda City or
Yeah, correct.
Yaris.
Correct.
But because my family, we didn't really have the budget to go anywhere more than the Iris,
Yeah.
right? So it was between Asia, Iris, Beza, and Myvi. And between those four, I just felt that the Iris handled the best of all of
I
them.
know, right? So, but at that time, right, you bought new or used stuff?
I bought used.
You bought used lah, but
Mm.
it was, I think, quite like what, 1 year old, 2 year old at most of
It was about 3 years old.
3 years old.
Two, 3 years old.
Then
yeah.
you kept the car for how long?
About 2 years.
So what did you enjoy most about the Iris at that time?
The handling.
Handling,
Without doubt, the handling.
I know what you mean, because I mean, the Iris as a car, as a package, it has its pros and cons, right? But really, one of the standout points of the Iris is the ride and handling. It really shames cars that are twice or triple the price easy. Earlier, before we got together, Chris had the chance to take the Iris out for a spin. And so, what do you think of this car in compared to what you remember of your Iris?
First thing straight away is
You got an
Hey.
Eddie's feasting on you, bro.
oh, thanks. But okay, anyways, the first thing I realized when I just stepped into that, even starting up the car, right, I noticed it felt more refined straight
Yes,
away.
yes.
Less vibration.
Yes.
And when I took it out for a spin, straight away it felt quieter.
And anything else you noticed?
Refinement, quality inside the car, especially I noticed the plastics on certain touch points, especially like the steering wheel airbag cover. It felt better.
Yeah.
Things like, say, the nitty little gritty things like the window motor regulator, it sounded quieter.
Really? Yeah.
I remember it because it felt when I tried like everything in the car and I realized the windows sound quieter than I remember. Things like even the rotary control knobs for the aircon,
Oh
especially
yes.
since they swapped it to the
Yeah.
electronic ones, right?
Yeah.
I felt that I remembered it being very rattly in the
Yes.
previous model.
Yes.
I realized it's actually
More solid, right?
yeah, it's more solid.
What do you think of this new front end design, first and foremost?
I actually think it's quite nice.
Yeah.
Definitely with like the hints of red over here and the matte finishes over here.
Yeah.
I'm very certain Proton is trying to go for that more youthful looking vibe.
Yeah. Do you like this better or you like the original look better?
It's more of a 50-50, but there are some things I like about it, there are some things I don't like about it.
What is it that you like about it?
I honestly like the grille design over here.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they call it.
Ethereal bowl.
Yes, that's
Ethereal
the-
bowl.
Yes, I like that, and I especially like that they now have LED headlights. Especially.
Oh yeah. These wheels, I feel honestly look quite upmarket.
It makes the car feel one step above, one class above than what I remember it being.
But what do you think of the crossover body style?
I'm not really into crossovers.
Yeah.
But I feel that actually the
Yes.
claddings, it makes it feel, if you look especially from the front end, right,
Yeah.
it looks wider, it makes the car look wider, which I like that. But I felt personally, if I could personalize this, I would have changed this to body colored as well.
But that's something you can do at a body shop anytime.
Yes, that's true.
Your car had that spoiler also, right?
Yeah, exactly this spoiler, except this one is painted in black.
Like yours is that time yours was body colored. Right?
It was body
But-
colored.
your pre-facelift one, this was still body color, right? They didn't have this black plastic.
No, it was not. And
This is
also,
metal lah.
this is. I think I'm not too sure. I think it's plastic.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense to be metal lah. Right.
But definitely also. My pre-facelift model never had the Proton lettering like this. Also.
But I think it's sort of like visually reorganizes the rear better, right? So this there's not too much of empty sheet metal here compared to the pre-facelift car.
That's true. They definitely filled up the blanks in the back, because I did find it could be both ways. It's unique, and also it kind of looks a bit bland based on the previous pre-facelift Iris. Straight away you see like these hints of matte red everywhere, actually, even like here, even the center console. And oh, speaking of the center console, finally a proper center console with an armrest.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man.
I felt that was the one thing that was actually needed in the Iris when I first got it.
Correct.
I need a place to rest my hand, but there's no way to rest my hand.
This made it so much better. Better. And I felt that when I first saw this, I felt that the quality is just so much better from the pre-facelift cars. Right? The overall solidness of the build is much better.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. Like, especially like what I pointed out before. The airbag cover somehow feels like it's a higher grade.
Higher grade, right? Slightly softer touch.
Yes. Especially. Then things like even the door handles are now painted in this gloss finish as well. And also another thing is they changed the overhead light.
Yeah, I remembered. Well, this is definitely from Geely, because you look at these patterns here. Okay, this is Chinese, but I can't remember what it was like before this though.
It was basically just once. It's not really square, but like square shape with just two buttons to press. And it felt, lack of better word, felt flimsy.
But overall, definitely, I think besides adding features, definitely this cabin feels. Most importantly, it feels more solid than before.
That's
right?
for sure.
You got try the high Proton.
Hang on.
Good afternoon, Pepper Club.
Wind down my window, please.
This operation is not supported. You can say right window open.
Right window open, please.
Window half open, and so on.
Just say open windows.
Hi, Proton.
What's up?
Open windows.
Opening front row.
Thank you.
Hi, Proton.
Good afternoon.
Switch on aircon. Aircon on.
Got it. Turning on AC.
Nice.
Cool. Hey, so I ask you one question. If your Iris was at this level of quality, right, would it have been as easy to sell?
Oh, actually, it would be even harder to sell. Because, honestly, it would be harder to sell because as much as the car that I'm currently driving now is much more refined than my Iris. But because this feels so much more refined than the original Iris.
And the thing is that this feels fun. There's a fun element to this car, that the few days I spent with this car as well as the Persona, right, it's like, I was quite happy to take these two cars out, on repeated runs around to do my errands.
You will love to take this to Genting or Ulu.
Yeah. So if I tell you get to keep the car for a bit longer, you'll be happy.
I'll be very happy actually, to be honest. I miss the feel of this car.
Okay, so if I tell you your task now is to send this car to Bobby, you're okay?
Can, no problem.
Awesome.
Also, more time with this car, the better it is.
Awesome. Rekindle your old love, right?
I really miss this car a lot.
Yeah, man. Good to know.